Hey, hey, we're back.
We are. Where are we? My God, the studio.
The studio, our happy place.
We are.
And a happy place and a happy weekend we had. Like on Saturday night, we went to the Little Legs Foundation Gala Ball, Masquerade.
Yeah, and raising money for childhood brain cancer. A really, really great charity and so professionally run. And the driver is a remarkable woman. When she spoke that night,
Sue Ellen,
she blew me away and held back her emotion. And oh my God, I can't believe what they raised.
Yeah, they've raised so much money, but we're right.
3 million, I think, something at this stage.
Unbelievable. They have, exactly.
All because of her. She's turning her grief into something so positive, and I really admire her.
And Little Legs is like from Allegra, the daughter she sadly lost, that, as you said, became an angel, far too early. But she's also on season 2, so you can tune back in and listen to her with Marcella Zemanek,
I love Marcella,
who lost her husband Stan. And
it's a great night.
But it was a great night. It was a masquerade ball. That was really fun. And we had a table of back fencers, so we had Lee Holmes, nutritionist.
The masks. I'm like, well, hold on. And people were looking for me because you were running a bit late, and I'm going, oh, maybe no one's here. But then who is everyone?
But don't you love that?
It was absolutely, and then someone grabbed me. I'm like, who are you? And I went,
You'd always tell you with your long blonde hair.
Yeah, that's fun. And then,
your signature.
And I'd only just got back from skiing.
Yeah, so how was that?
Oh, the best
little times with a ski bunny.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, that's great.
In Australia, it's like life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. And skiing in Brisbane, it can be rocks or mud or ice or windhold. It was fluffy powder, thick base. It was heaven. It was just, I was squealing all the way down like a child.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I sort of go like skiing in your backyard. I am. I'm off to Euro, baby. So I'm actually doing a walk. I'm going to Slovenia. I'm going with the whole lot of...
You don't expect that. You hit Paris, London. Oh, no, Slovenia.
Slovenia via Dubai. I'm having a little stopover, seeing a friend there, which will be fun. And then I'm going to do hiking, and I think I'm doing some wine testing as well in Slovenia.
And why not?
And and then heading off to Copenhagen, a little getaway. So I'll come back and tell you all about it.
Well, speaking of wine tasting...
Well, don't we love a good drop? When did we last have a good drop together and celebrated?
I'm just thinking because I haven't... Oh, no,
when was our last big fantastic lunch?
Hamilton
was
and on that note, our next guest...
Who have we got?
Callan Boys.
Woohoo!
I like that name, Callan Boys.
Oh, it's a cool name. I agree.
We heard Callum actually speak up at the at Qualia lunch on Hamilton Island during race week. And Nicola and I were so impressed. We just had to share him with you. Callan Boys is the Good Foods National Restaurant Editor at the Sydney Morning Herald and The Age, and the New South Wales Restaurant Critic for The Good Weekend. God, you cover a lot. I mean, I'm surprised you're not the size of a bus.
Yeah.
One of Callan's description. One of Callan's.
I sure would be.
I've got to mention this. I heard you on a podcast recently, and your description of a dessert at Key Restaurant. Zip, zap, crunch, boom.
Boom.
I went,
that's good.
I love the way this guy writes.
Yeah.
Well, if you like to eat out and discover new culinary adventures, including regional areas, stay tuned as Callan is the man. Welcome, Callan.
Welcome.
Woo.
I think I was watching some of the old Batman 1966 when I wrote that zip, zap, crash, boom.
And what was the dessert, might I ask?
I couldn't tell you.
I think it was it had to be a pavlova or something. I'm thinking crunch. I was thinking...
something with a chocolatey thing or something.
No, it had to be like a
toffee
pan.
thing.
I tell you what it was. It was the Key's white coral dessert, which replaced Peter Gilmore, the chef at Key, replaced the signature snow egg a few years ago with white coral, and it's a meringue thing with about 1,000 ingredients going on, and that's the texture of it, and it tastes beautiful. He mixes up different fruits with it. Could be custard apple, whatever's in season. Yeah,
yum.
I love that restaurant.
I had the snow egg. That was pretty special.
Yeah, it comes back every now and again.
He
says he's never going to bring it back.
But
I loved it. That's Matt Moran, who also he was on our podcast as well.
Oh, right on. Peter Gilmore.
Peter Gilmore. Oh, okay,
Key
yes,
restaurant.
okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Matt Moran's signature at our area is his souffle, which is still the menu I had the other week.
That's it. Yes.
So, oh my God, where do you start?
Yeah, so
Callum.
I know. So tell us, but you're a Newcastle lad, is that
I
right?
am Newcastle.
Yeah.
Born and raised since '84. Grew up in Belmont on Lake Macquarie, sailing little VJs and lasers and whatnot, and not doing that much fishing.
And how does a boy from Newcastle get to be like a food and wine critic?
I left high school, stuffed around for a couple of years doing an arts degree at university, which went nowhere, but studied creative writing there and worked at a comic book shop full time.
Oh, really?
Which I really enjoyed.
Well, that's where the zap boom crack goes from, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I'm a big comic fan. And then eventually I realised, well, this is probably not going to pay the bills or a mortgage later on as much as I love reading about Superman every Tuesday. So then I started working for New South Wales Health, or John Hunter Hospital, actually, in just a very entry role in medical records, and kind of worked my way up the ranks. Started studying a health information management degree through Curtin in WA, and got a job as a clinical business analyst for New South Wales Health down in Sydney when I was about 27, 28, and moved down.
Silver light.
Yeah. And then how do you get the dream job?
This is the league. Well, I was always into food, like Gourmet Traveller subscription, Good Food Guide, the Herald, whenever that would come out each November or October, always buying that, buying Good Living in the Herald on a Tuesday. Love food. Would spend all my money, for the month down at Key and live off 2-minute noodles the rest of the week back in Newcastle. Oh. And luckily I had girlfriends who were happy to do that too. And then when I came to Sydney, a friend of mine was working for a little zine in Surrey Hills called Urban Walkabout, which was a fun little cafe, kind of like What's On guide. And she said she wanted to have some more voices in there, writing some food reviews. And I said, I'll give it a crack. She says, you don't know how to write. I said, I don't, but I'll try anyway. And you're not going to pay me, so whatever. Just let me have a go. And she's like, this is actually not too bad. It was published, and then that got into the hands of the Cheap Eats editor at the Herald at the time, when we had a little Cheap Eats or Good Food Under $30 guide. Angie got in touch and said, do you want to do some reviews for us? And that was pretty much it. And then it was the Good Food Guide proper. Then it was writing Good Living, larger features. And that was about a year. Still doing project management work for New South Wales Health. And eventually I had to start knocking back work from the Herald, because I was up to like 3 or 4 in the morning writing and editing and then doing weekend work. And I was like, which is great beer money, when you're pretty much working 2 jobs. But they said, hey, look, do you want to maybe come on board full time and we'll see what we can do. So that was that. And I said, I'll just go back to New South Wales Health if I need to. And that was 11, 12 years ago now. So
tell us about the Good Food Guide. Tell us all about that, because a lot of people know of it. But how does it work? How does it operate? And including the hats that all the restaurants wait with bated breath to hear about.
So many times I go to a restaurant and I'll hear people at the table next to me, and someone will say, like, I hear this has got a hat. And like, where do those hats come from? I was like, I don't know.
I've had people say it to me.
Can you tell us? Tell us. I think everyone's a big mystery, isn't it?
It is. So
some people say it's the Michelin star gauge of restaurants in Australia.
It kind of is. Michelin would be the closest thing to compare it to.
I guess
but
get a handle on it.
Michelin has a very French style of service that they're after, and way of plating and cuisine, and which we look at a lot of technique as well for their hats, but we also looked at innovation and a sense of a point of view and what makes us an Australian restaurant rather than just copying something from France. There are certainly restaurants which have 3 hats in Australia which may not get 3 Michelin stars, for example. Anyway, but the Good Food Guide started for the Sydney Morning Herald in 1984. Leo Schofield, the great Leo Schofield, still rocking around Potts Point, I believe. You see him every now and again. Great man. Kicked off in 84 with the hats. So there's, at that first ever Good Food Guide, there was 1 restaurant with 3 hats, and that was 2. It was Browwater's Inn, and it was Peter and Bev Doyle, who had Reflections up at Palm Beach. And
hello.
Well, hello. It's our backyard here.
I tell you what, if there's one restaurant I would love to get a TARDIS and go back in time and visit, it would have been Peter and Bev's Reflections at Palm Beach.
Back in 1984. Was it?
That's above 2108.
That's the building That is so random. That's where our business
there you go.
is.
There you go.
That's why I'm wondering it's the same one. How weird.
I wonder if there's any menus
I'll scrape through the carpet and have a little look for you. So that's amazing.
So that was, and then there was a number of restaurants with 2 hats underneath that, and then 1 hat as well. And that's similar to Michelin. And so when we were reviewing those restaurants, we score out of 20 points. And a score of 18 out of 20 is 3 hats. It's pretty hard to get.
18 out of 20.
18 out of 20.
18 is my favourite number too.
There you
one
go.
hat. Okay.
No restaurant's ever scored 20 out of 20. It's never happened. It's always kind of a thing. Well, there's always
Give us an
something
idea
else
of
better.
what restaurants rate.
Well, okay, so there are at the moment 3 hat restaurants in Sydney. Key, we just talked
Yeah,
about.
of course.
Encore by Claire Smith
Where's
at
that?
Crown, at not casino,
so
integrated
well
resort, or
Yes,
whatever we're supposed to
yeah.
call it.
Yeah.
And then you have Sixpenny in Stanmore, a tiny little intimate place.
I'd
I think it's only
that.
about 20 or 30
What sort of
seats.
food?
I'm
is
writing
it?
it down.
Tasting
Sixpenny.
menu only, and a lot of fermented ingredients, and a lot of really great produce like WA Marin, for example, and just very composed, elegant dishes, restrained plating, and in a small environment, very different than the view you're going to get at Key or Encore. But a lot of the times, without sounding like too much of a wanker, it's about the notes you don't play as
Yes.
well, like a jazz
Yes.
song, and that restraint
Beautifully
is
put.
just as important as look at this view of the Opera House.
Subtlety, isn't
And
it?
the
Yeah.
500 people we have in the kitchen to make
Right.
this one bite, which is going to take you 2 seconds to eat.
Yes. Bam, boom,
And
crash.
what do you really look for? You know, like in
Yeah.
a meal, like to rate it.
So with that scoring,
Yeah, I'd say
so 10
yeah.
points out of the 20 is allocated for the food. And we're looking for things like innovation, technique.
Right.
Is it delicious? Like really, like
Has to
that's got to
taste
taste.
good,
It's got to
doesn't it?
taste good at the end of the day. I don't care like what province of China you've done a deep dive on to bring me this amazing looking dish if it still tastes like rubbish at the end of the day. Then we're also looking. 5 points is for service. So things like if you want that like 1 hat, 2 hat, 3 hat restaurant, I want to see that wine, if you're pouring it by the glass, bring that bottle to the table, especially this day and age when
Right.
a lot of wine
I
by the
get
glass
that.
is like $28. Have a little
so
bit of
true.
ceremony
Do you know what?
around
That's
it.
such a good point.
It is.
I don't think that they're swindling me and pouring a Fruity
No.
Lexia Coolbar glass in a
Yes.
glass and trying to pass it off. I just want to
actually
see
agree
the
with
bottle,
that.
take a picture.
I totally
Same.
agree. You know, like I said, when I worked for the airlines, we used to say it was theatre in the cabin, but especially in the pointy end of the restaurant too, you'd always sort of
Yeah.
display the wines and do all that because it's sort of part of the service. So as a
Absolutely.
customer in a restaurant, and you are, because it's expensive and, you know, things are tight a lot of times now,
Yeah.
so it's a big treat to go out to a restaurant.
Yes.
It's a porphyry pearl.
You know,
Janine, I love what
exactly.
you just
It
Even
said.
if you have
A
your
goon bag.
noodles the other time, but to go out. So,
It's so true.
I
So-
love that you give
so-
5
yes.
points for service.
points
Yeah,
for
so
service.
do I.
That's
What
so
else
important.
is service? Like,
Well, so something like if a person on the floor drops a knife, I don't care. If you smash a glass, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's all about how you handle those situations because people are human. There's always going to be little stuff ups like that. So that's something we look at. I'm not like dropping a knife on the floor and then timing to see how long it takes
Sure.
to pick it up.
yeah, I'm
That's
sure
just,
people think that
I,
too.
I think
you know.
Michelin might do that
Yeah.
kind of behavior, but
Yeah,
that's not
yeah,
really
yeah.
what
It's
we're
Australia,
about.
mate.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But things like the water glasses regularly filled up, that kind of thing. Is there someone kind of always kind of hovering and you can get their attention? Like the last thing you want in a restaurant is to be looking for someone on the floor and there's no one there.
Totally.
At the end of the day, though, like we're trying to judge the whole front of house team, not just one waiter who might just be a dud that you happen to get. And you're seeing, is there a larger problem here? And then we'll probably go back and do a re-review. Or is it just one person? And then we can just write it off and say, I think everything's fine.
Do they know you're there?
That was exactly what I was going to say.
Oh, yeah.
Do they know you're there? Do
Yeah.
you book in your name?
No,
or
never,
do you-
never
Okay,
book in
so,
my own name.
So you're
they do
incognito.
not- yeah.
The amount of phone calls that I brief him now, but my dad in Newcastle and mum, like I use their phone numbers a lot. And you got to kind of I keep a little spreadsheet and a list of like which relatives. I'm just keep going down to Uncle Trevor in Valentine now in Newcastle to have to use his number to book. So Uncle Trevor, if you get a call from Neil Perry's restaurant to say to confirm a 2 p.m.
Right.
booking on Saturday, say yes.
That's so. Well, your parents are like,
Wow.
yeah.
Because sometimes their dad picks up and is like, I don't know what you're talking. Key, what? I don't bloody know. Not. No.
So good. Do they not know your face though?
They know my face. So that's the thing.
Right.
That's the thing. So once you walk in, it's, I would say, at restaurants that are at one hat and above level, 60-70% of the time you'll be recognised.
And is it two of you or more?
I will usually bring my wife, or I'll bring my co-editor on the Good Food Guide, David Matthews, to the review, especially the bigger name restaurants where you want to have two senior reviewers looking at it.
Good.
But my wife, you know, she's got a viticulture degree. She used to be a sommelier. She knows wine really well.
Right.
So she's great at that. She's great to bounce off. And she'll often notice things about service, which I might not pick up as well. So that's really important. Anyway, so once you come in, it's all on. And sometimes there'll be a thing like, oh, Mr. Boys, good to see you again.
Right.
I see you booked under Mr. Harris. It's like, okay. And then there'll be a little
they give
dance.
you a little dig.
We rang your dad.
Yeah, there'll be a little dance where it's we're just fixing the table right now, and then you'll see.
Oh, you get a better view.
You'll get a better view.
Two people up, move them over there. You're there with the view.
100%.
And the whispers to the kitchen would go, make sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. Sometimes you'll be there and the head chef's not on, and then like halfway through, I'll see them like coming in.
Oh, they called them in.
They've been at home on the couch or whatever with their family, the poor bastards.
That's so funny.
And then now they're having to slave over the stove.
Just shows the importance of a food review, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it can really make or break restaurants.
I think we can make restaurants.
Okay.
I think certainly. Look, I mean, because we do the Good Food Guide, also write for Good Weekend in the Sydney Morning Herald every Saturday and have a column, and it's so great to hear those stories from restaurants which I've reviewed in a positive way, and they come back and say, since that article, like, business has tripled, like, we're booked out now, thank you so much. And especially like when it's a small independent restaurant with like a husband and wife running it and just on a shoestring budget, it's so great to make those places, like, put them in front of people's minds if they're going to Orange for a holiday or if they're going to Palm Beach, wherever it might be for a weekend. I don't think we can break a restaurant anymore. I don't think, because there's so much Google reviews out there now.
And what about TikTok and all these different ones
Reels.
too? There's so many different ways of, I guess, with reviews.
But there
now,
is a lot of disappointment if they don't get the hat. I've heard in
the restaurant's very upset.
And how do you deal with that pressure as a matter of interest?
We just make sure that, like, we're very convicted with our reviews. If something's on the fence, if I'm like, oh, maybe it's a 15, maybe it's a 14, we'll go back again until we're sure and confident of it. Sometimes, you know, like, just by going in, like, yep, I've been doing this long enough now to know this is what that score is. It's not going to go up or down.
Consistency.
But other times we have to go back a few times to make sure we're confident on it. And then if the restaurant isn't happy with the score, like, my inbox is always open to give feedback as to why. I really get upset when I have restaurateurs go on Instagram and they say, oh, you know, Good Food Guide lost its way, blah, 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 and have a bit of a moan about it and say we don't have integrity. I was like, buddy, if you had emailed me, I could have given you the 3 pages of notes as to why you didn't get a hat.
Right.
And I didn't put them in a public space or whatever, so you don't need to air that publicly. I'm not airing my notes publicly, so let's just do this, you know, off social media is the respectful thing to do. And a lot of them do. And they're usually pretty appreciative. Sometimes you just get no response back, even after I've prepared a 3-page document as to why.
So you can justify.
But I don't want bad restaurants in Sydney or Australia. You know, I want it to be like the best food country in the world.
Because we all know it was hit so badly in COVID, you know, like of all the industries, well, so many. I mean, the whole world was sort of hit with it, but especially restaurants, and it's sort of taken some time to come back. Has things changed now?
Service is, I don't think, quite picked back up.
Interesting.
I think you
Service as in not enough staff?
I think not enough staff. Staff shortage is still a problem. It's definitely better than it was post-COVID because we lost all the overseas workers.
Of course.
You know, the service industry in Australia relies so much on overseas workers over here on visas. So that's starting to come back now. But what you had, and I think in the kitchens as well, you've got a lot of entry-level staff now on the floor and you've got a lot of senior staff, but kind of in the middle, there wasn't no one. There's like a 2-year gap when, like, kids that would be 21, 22 going to restaurants for the first time, it wasn't happening. So there's a real little gap there, and I think it shows. But also, like, if you're leaving high school now, would you want to work in a restaurant or do you want to work in IT and deal with spreadsheets in office 9 to 5? It's a hard yakka in the kitchen. And so like, it's just trying to attract more and more staff.
I loved having a chat with Josh and Island. We went to a lunch at Sundays up in Hamilton Island. Race week. We had a bit that week, didn't we?
We certainly did.
It was interesting what he said to me. He said, because we were discussing about it's hard work behind those flapping doors as the waitresses come out in that kitchen. It's hard work. And he said to me, my turning point was I was slaving during ridiculous hours. I was sweating. I was almost in tears, so emotional about it all. And a chef came up behind me and put his hand on my shoulder. He said, a big, meaty hands. He went like that on my shoulder. He said, well done, well done. And he said, from that moment on, everything flipped because that positive reinforcement of,
got some praise.
And it was constant from that minute on. And then I stepped my way out.
Isn't he he's a superb.
It was a little
superb
thing.
That's another three-hat restaurant, I should say.
Exactly.
There you go.
Now, Will Cowper, cause that's where we all met, and we were really lucky. We were at Qualia at Hamilton Island. So if anyone, listeners, go up to Queensland for a treat up there. It was fantastic.
My gosh.
And I think we've all done a few lunches. You probably win the award there, Callan. I'd say probably
I
more
don't know.
lunches
I don't
than
know.
all of us.
Hands down.
Even though we've done a few lunches in our day.
I reckon it'd be
as well,
neck and neck.
I would have to say that was one of the best lunches I've ever been to.
You're on the beach in Hamilton Island.
Yeah.
You've got Will on caviar duty,
Exactly.
grilling those little champagne lobsters
superb.
and that beautiful beef that they get as well from Otto Restaurant in Brisbane, which is exclusive to them. I think 7 score marble, but grain-fed, not grass-fed. Anyway, not going to get into all that technicalities.
We all love hearing that.
It was great, and then really good pasta as well, like nice and al dente.
Ravioli.
I think there was like more than 100 people at that lunch.
Yeah,
I want to
it's
say.
incredible to serve that amount of food.
Yes, I talked to Will afterwards.
Yeah, and
was he
alive?
Barely, but he was also very happy
champagne
and
on tap.
proud.
There was whales going,
cameo,
and the yachts racing
exactly.
past.
Yeah,
I thought. What did I say to you if I died and gone to heaven?
Yeah.
It was that good.
The next day,
and you spoke beautifully.
Thank you. That's very kind. The next day, I saw the yachts with all the spinnaker out as well for the first time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
what you stayed.
I stayed, a couple of days, and like, oh my gosh, I love that island.
It's so
I'd never
beautiful.
been before. I've always wanted to, and so the opportunity to come and host that
Well,
lunch.
visit our country if you're listening from overseas too. There's so many
Nick
places.
Saying that, let's talk about Australian produce. You just mentioned.
We got married from WA, probably the best in the world.
Tell me about Australian produce. We are seriously up there in the world standard with our produce.
All you need to do is go to Neil Perry's Margaret over in Double Bay and just his incredible list of wild caught, not farmed, wild caught Australian seafood. The beautiful coral trout he gets in from northern Queensland, down to the squid and the whiting from Corner Inlet in Victoria. Like the breadth of this country. Wonderful bluefin tuna coming up. And then you got inland, the beef, like, oh my gosh, like the Wagyu from David Blackmore down in Victoria. Probably the best in the world for Wagyu, I think. And then you've got all and then you've got all the beautiful grass-fed stuff as well coming up in New South Wales. Like Ranges Valley is fantastic. Like there's so much good producers, and then the oysters as well, which we call Sydney rock oysters. They really should be called New South Wales rock oysters because they grow all up and down the east coast of New South Wales. They're native to the east coast, unlike Pacific oysters, which I do like Pacifics as well, down in South Australia and Victoria and Tassie. But those New South Wales rock oysters are just such a delight. From Merimbula and Pambula up to Wallace Lake, and they've all got their own little taste profiles. And if you ever get the chance to sit down and taste like 6 or so New South Wales oysters side by side and just pick up those little taste differences with a great glass of Hunter Valley Semillon, I mean, that's living.
Oh, we love
and
that. What about the Hunter Valley ones? What about Lisa McGuigan?
We've got our own. Hunter Valley.
I love Hunter Valley Semillon.
Yeah.
Hunter Valley Semillon is like absolutely world class. Like if there's one wine I think that we should put up on the pedestal, send to the aliens. It's like this is what we can do from Australia.
DM us because we've got our own wine label with Lisa McGuigan over the wine fence.
I love the Shiraz.
It's just the Shiraz. It's just or Pinot Grigio.
And you know what? While we're on that note, it's like I'm talking about Lisa McGuigan Shiraz. I'm a rosé drinker, right?
Yeah.
Now I want to say, am I boring you? I need you to tell me. I'll go, oh, no, I want a rosé. And
you're like,
shh, I like an ice cube in it. Shh.
That's okay.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I'm always getting into trouble.
I
No,
don't.
you
No,
don't.
I don't.
But my point I'm trying to put to you is like, you were talking about the Hunter Valley, you were talking about Lisa, but tell me about how do you get out of that mentality? Oh no, I drink Chardonnay, or no. But hold on a minute. What about pairing food to wine versus I'm used to just I only drink that wine? How do you get out of that habit?
Oh gosh. I think you just got to do whatever you like. I think life's too short to be worried.
Good.
But does food
about,
taste better if you pair it with a specific wine?
It tastes better if you want to do that. Yeah. Okay. So, if you want to, like, rosé is a great bloody wine. One of my favorite Australian wines is Eastern Peak Rosé. If you can get your hands on that, that's number one.
Put that one.
From down in Victoria. Anyway, whenever that's released each year, we just buy a case. I love Eastern Peak Rosé. Anyway, so and like some rosé with like a rabbit paella or something like that is delicious. Like rosé, rosé you can pair with a lot of things.
Yeah, but in winter,
but yeah, it's hard. It is a little bit. It's a
say
little
have
bit
a
harder.
red?
Yeah, they say have a red, but you know what? Like you can sit there, like even like with like Cabernet. With lamb and Shiraz with beef or whatever it might be, and like really drilling down into different like what white wines go with different seafoods and that kind of thing. And if it just becomes too stressful, then don't worry about it. I keep thinking about the time anytime I get too stressed, like trying to do wine matching. There's a restaurant in Queensland, just over the border from Tenterfield, in Stanthorpe. It's called Essen. Clarissa is the chef who runs it, Clarissa Pabst, and it's I think it's $96-ish or something like that for 4 courses. No vegetarian substitutions, I don't think. I think you just get what you get, whatever. A lot of the food cooked in a wood-fired oven. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's BYO only. Just because she's doing her own thing. It's pretty much a one-woman kitchen, and so and she doesn't really have time to employ a sommelier and deal with a wine list and all that. So you just bring your own booze, and it's $2 corkage, flat rate for everyone.
Wow, good. Bring back the old days of that.
So that's great. So we're there. Now we looked at the menu before and matched wines and all that kind of thing, and that we brought in. There's lots of great wines up at Granite Belt where it is. But there was a couple next to us, and she was drinking a $5 bottle of Bowler's Run. He was drinking a 4-pack of Bacardi Breezes, pouring them into his wine glass. But they were having the best bloody time in the entire restaurant. So who am I to say, you don't drink that with that, you morons?
No. But if you have a choice.
If it feels good, do it, and don't stress yourself out.
And I think that's a really good point, Joe, because it's great to sort of know sort of what they sort of recommend with wine. A lot of times they have that. But I think that at the end of the day is you want to have a good time. Food and restaurants is about enjoying each other's company and bringing people together.
That's it.
Or else if you want to have a meal on your own and then enjoy that and have a glass of wine, you can feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
But I think when people take it so seriously,
it's true.
It's
Takes
just
the
it's
fun out
like
of
then
it.
going either go to a restaurant, it's too fancy.
Well, you remember the old days,
enjoy it.
sommeliers were par for the course in a restaurant. You don't get them so much these days.
They're a rarer breed.
Yeah, and I used to love that come out and go, well, I'm going to order this. What do you suggest? I used to love that.
Yes.
But I rarely find a sommelier these days where I eat in my kitchen. I mean,
yes, exactly. Yeah.
Make your soup.
Tell it. What's your favourite meal?
Oh gosh, my favourite meal. If I'm cooking at home, I'm a big Italian.
Oh yum.
Nerd. So just to do a slow cooked ragu on a Sunday.
Yum.
And then it's a very cathartic experience. You get the big Le Creuset pot, and then you've got your wooden spoon, and just that kind of motion of
for all the foodies
doing the sofrito first with the carrot and the onion and the celery, and then just building up the flavours and letting it simmer there for 5 hours, going back and tasting it. Opening a bottle of red at 2:00 in the afternoon, and then it's like, oh shit, I was supposed to use that for dinner, but I better open another one. That's what life's all about, and that's sort of favourite thing.
I agree.
That's so good to hear that as well.
Nicola, you very wisely brought up about it's about coming togetherness, connecting with each other when you go out. I've got a bone to pick. Is that appropriate? To say that in this conversation.
Yeah. Pun not intended.
I think Josh Nolan would be impressed. It's a fish bone.
And I know what you're going to say. Or I'm going to guess.
Well,
you go ahead.
It's my pet hate because we went to Apollo in Potts Point a couple of years back, and I took a photo of my sisters. There was 4 of us sitting there. Everyone smiled. We took a photo of us. put the phone back down, and then a week later I went, oh, let's bring that photo up, send it to my sisters. And the photo I took actually brought in 3 tables, unbeknownst to me. And on the 3 tables behind my sisters, there was 3, 2, 2. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. Every single one of them are on the phone in this beautiful restaurant sharing this gorgeous experience. And so I went, oh, we've all gone mad. What's your opinion about mobile phones and bloody restaurants?
Oh, gosh. It does upset me when I see a couple
really, isn't it?
that are just on their phones the entire night.
Get emotional.
Look, it does, again, going back to if it feels good, do it. I'm not going to yuck anyone's yum. If you just want to sit there and do some sports betting
And
while your partner checks TikTok, you do you, I guess. But I just, I don't, it's not my vibe. I have to always look like an arsehole too with my wife because I'm often taking notes.
It's different. You're working.
So I kind of like, oh gosh, but I don't even like looking like that. I think that my thing is, the one that my pet hate is when a waiter at a nice restaurant or any restaurant, doesn't matter, they put the food down and they explain it. And they take you through the components that are in there and what went into cooking it. And people just get their phone out and they're just taking photographs while the person's talking to them. I'm like, just wait till the person stops talking. You're not listening. Like, just take that in, have some respect, and then take your photograph. It's kind of like on an airline almost sometimes. Like, okay, even if you're not listening to the safety announcement, just give some respect if they're next to you rather than like looking at your phone the entire time.
That's the other thing that's changed so much too, because it was that trend. I think it's now gone off trend because people are sick of it. But remember, everyone then at the start was taking photos of even their brunches and putting it, uploading of all food, and it's sort of like now people going, we don't really care what you're eating. There's your own private thing.
Well, the influencers don't care either. They're just in there to take a photo and leave, aren't they? A lot of them.
Oh gosh, like back in its height, I remember I used to see them take the food off the table because I didn't like the surface of the table for whatever reason. But this beautiful polished concrete instead. We'll put the food on the floor, get the stool over, stand up on the stool, do the flat lay photograph over the top of the dish. By the time they eat it, it's like 20 minutes later.
It's not for that.
Chefs really do try to get that food to you to land exactly how it should be.
Right.
And how dare you?
Seriously.
But
I get that.
It's interesting how trends have changed, and you're sort of saying that, and we really hope. And I think some places there, you don't have your phone. I think most people, but as you said, you do you is a thing. But it sort of is if you're out for company,
it's upsetting.
And
for me, it is.
It really is, and it's a lot of money to be spending too for a thing there. But it's also the thing of engaging and looking at each other in the eye. Now, tell us also, because there's also with trends too with. I've heard there's speed dating. There's all these things at different restaurants as well. Have you heard much about this sort of stuff? Because that's all changed.
You've got to get bums on seats from Monday to Thursday. It's Friday to Saturday. You go to a restaurant, it can be packed. You're like. What do you mean these guys are, in danger of being closed? Like, this is pumping, but it's those midweek
midweek speed, and I believe
speed dating absolutely would be something. That's why you see so many more happy hour specials these days, and Tuesday 2-for-1 deals everywhere.
And what about the trend of also? It used to be sort of back in the olden day, good old olden days or whatever. It was sort of like with you going out and then. You wouldn't be splitting the bill. Or things. Have things changed now? When you go up the group and people sort of say, look, we'll pay for each other. Or,
gosh. This could be its entire podcast.
Yeah, tell us.
On the fine art of bill splitting.
Yeah.
I think, gosh, I'm very much like what goes around comes around. It all comes out in the wash. And I might have had an extra Negroni. But we all just chuck in the same, and that's it. That's the kind of like people I usually hang out with anyway, and it's all fine. But sometimes you go to a table, and then someone gets the calculator out. And it's like, well, I just had the pasta. I didn't eat any of that, so I'm just going to put in the $28, and I've just drank tap water. So you wanted the sparkling, and then
and then everyone's asleep. Then
they don't get invited to the next one.
And they don't come the next one. They don't come the next one.
It's just down to the fine dollar.
That's fine.
I've got a headache.
I think more and more there was a period there where restaurants were like very much like no split bills, that's it. There is still a fair bit of that, but I found at some of the more casual places They have like the point of sale systems now up. You can just get the little thing, the little dock or whatever it is, and send it around the table. Everyone puts in their own little amount and how much they want to spend. Scan the card.
We do that a
hand
bit
it across
too,
to the next
girlfriends.
person.
There might be 6 of us going out,
exactly.
and sometimes you can't afford to cover everybody.
Yeah.
And then it's a restaurant there, and everyone
puts the equal amount. But what I've seen now is like you can actually itemize and point to the dishes that you had and just pay for them separately and then hand it off. So that's to really drill down.
Oh, gee.
So instead of having to get that serviette out.
It's all changing.
Cost of living, so what am I to say, if that's what people
Can I put you on the spot?
Yeah, let's put him on the spot, Dine.
No, I mean it. You tell me if you don't want to go there. But
I'll go anywhere.
I love that.
As long as it's not Cronulla.
Oh, a lot of listeners in Cronulla here.
I joke. I went to a restaurant in Cronulla the other week called Homer, and it was excellent.
Oh, really?
I had a really nice time. It's like finally there's some great eating in the Shire.
Off my question in a good way. Favorite, because we're on the East Coast, guys. If you're listening from overseas, we're on the East Coast of Australia. I want to hear your favourite couple of restaurants: Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
And then I want you to throw in some regionals.
Oh, mate, yes.
And then a global one.
I can do
Yes,
this
I want
all
one.
day long.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Favourite restaurant, it's kind of, I think I'm paraphrasing the great Leo Schofield again when I say this. Not really such a thing. It's kind of like clothes where you have a different favourite for different occasions, a different pair of shoes for that, whatever. Favourite anniversary restaurant for my wife and I, the aforementioned Sixpenny or Key. Great place to have a blowout. Don't look at the bill too much and just have fun with it.
Yeah.
A favourite Sunday casual lunch on a rainy day like this especially would be Esther in Sydney over in Chippendale.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Just a lovely, beautifully designed room. And then you can just get cozy with anything from that wood-fired oven, like that wonderful potato bread with its little cultured cream on the side and trout roe. And there's always a great special with a whole fish or whatever it might be at Esther. I love Esther. Also love Neil Perry's Margaret as well. As I said, like that wild seafood.
I love Margaret. Do you know? I went there recently.
It is such a great roster.
I was in awe of everything. The stuff, everything.
You can't compete with that level of seafood. And Josh at St. Peter as well.
Yes, St. Peter.
No one goes to that little bar enough out the front at St. Peter as well. And you don't have to spend the $275 or whatever it is for the tasting menu at dinner. Just go and get that fish pie and a dark beer or some sort, or a martini or a whiskey, and sit there on a Saturday.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, fish pie.
Watch the Ferraris go past.
And then my favourite little casual eat at the moment is in Balmain where I live, called Chichi, which has just opened up a few months ago, and it's the son of a dude. Peter Zuz's the son. I can't remember his father's name, but his father brought tiramisu to Sydney back at Darcy's restaurant in Paddington in 1977.
I remember Darcy's.
Yeah, like cracker. And so, because tiramisu, not that old of a dish. It was only created in Italy in the 70s. So Peter's dad was working at the restaurant or near the restaurant where it was invented, came over to Sydney, put this new exciting tiramisu dish on the menu, and lo and behold, it's now in every Italian restaurant everywhere in Australia, if not the world. So you can get that original tiramisu recipe in Balmain now, but it's also just a great little spot to sit there on some charcuterie. Yeah. There's no booze in it anymore because it needs to be family friendly. That's
right, yes.
That's the only thing.
Right.
So that's my favourite little Italian spot. So in Melbourne, I always just joke and say I just give Andrew McConnell my credit card as soon as I get off the plane.
Great.
Like any of his restaurants, like Cutler and Co. Now just called Cutler, going to be a little casual, but not that much casual. Then you've got Cumulus Inc. is one of my all-time favourites. To sit in that beautiful room.
That was little Flinders.
Oh gosh, I love it. The rum bar they used to do there and put the rum bottle on the table like in France, and you're allowed to pour yourself. I don't think you could do that in Sydney. I think it would be abused. I think of Melbourne diners. I think
I
love Cumulus.
Sydney has better restaurants.
Yes,
overall, but I think Melbourne's a better place to eat.
In what respect?
I think you'll see people out and about more in Melbourne.
And they dress up too.
They dress up for it.
I love that about Melbourne.
I went to Andrew McConnell's Gimlet Bar Oh, Gimlet's the
We went
restaurant.
to lunch at Gimlet too.
Gimlet, great restaurant.
Party,
We
and
loved it
cracker.
too much.
We love it. And
I
the
staggered
great
out.
You got the
cocktails
lobster?
as well.
Had everything.
Yeah,
Yes,
good.
yeah.
But
All
down
of the
to-
above.
And more.
It was one of those long
It was a long
lunches.
Good,
Longer
good.
than long.
Good. But downstairs
Amazing you
from
brought that
Gimlet,
one up.
they've got Apollo, the bar, and I was
Yeah.
there like down for Formula One, and my Sarah and I that I work with, we went there. It was about 11 o'clock at night, and it was full of people above the age of 40, 45.
Love it.
Just drinking martinis, having a nice time, and I don't see that very often in Sydney,
No,
to be
it isn't.
honest.
Now, why is it? Are we more spread out? I don't know. I mean, like,
I
are we
think so.
talking CBD with a lot of
Talking
these
CBD,
restaurants
like
in Melbourne?
maybe it's more spread out in
Where-
Sydney.
Is Sydney more spread out?
I
need
think
to
so,
know,
but I think
like,
it's
as in
also a bit of the Melbourne
distance-wise.
culture as well too. I think
Yeah.
you know, in Melbourne, you tend to, being a Melbourne girl, go out so often, and more so I think than Sydney people. It's just sort of part of the culture and part of the lifestyle. And there's no such thing in Sydney like, oh, it's raining, I'm not going to
Yeah,
go or
it's
whatever.
true.
Well,
Yeah.
in Melbourne, it doesn't matter because it's
I've
going to
been
be
to the
raining.
beach, my hair's wet.
Yeah,
whatever,
and whereas
you know.
it's just part of the gig, you tend to. It's sort of part of a Melbourne lifestyle, and
The Stokehouse used to be is that still
love-
there?
I want to say yes.
Oh,
yes, yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Because I used to love going.
no,
This
it's
was
a-
100 years
in
ago.
Brisbane, because what about Otto?
Oh yeah, I love Otto. For me, number one.
Wow.
We'll have to
In
go
Brisbane.
and we go and see Oprah.
But I-
100%. We're going to go. We're going to hopefully.
We're meeting Oprah.
meet-
Oh,
well, we're
very
meeting
good.
her.
We're actually meeting
So
her. which is good.
Nicola said this morning, let's book in.
Yes.
Hopefully we
Yeah,
get in.
go
Yes.
to Otto. I
Yep.
would go to Agnes as well. Would be the other one.
Okay,
I'd put
Agnes,
AGNES. Yeah,
Okay.
wood-fired, very cool. Ben Williamson, the handsomest man in the world.
Ooh,
So
wow.
I think he's still the
Okay.
chef there. So
We're definitely
yeah.
going.
Okay, exactly. I just have the
Write that
lipstick
down.
on. My top up,
Nick's going, we're
my
going.
little lipstick as well for that. You know,
I love that.
any Grazians, you know.
And then oh, by the way, regional. Well, I'm just
Yeah,
right.
I'm
Actually,
desperate. So where are we going to start? Which day?
Well, I'm just writing today. I need to file
Yeah.
it. Actually,
Yeah.
I should have filed it yesterday. So hope my editors aren't listening to this. But Tenterfield on the New South Wales Queensland border, 9 out. Yeah,
Tenterfield.
That's it.
Sally Lone, we had her on. She's a
Don't
Tenterfield,
start me.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's a cracker song.
Beautiful,
My
isn't
favourite thing about Tenterfield is that the Peter Allen Motor Inn on the key rings.
Are you being kidding?
No.
Are you
Yes,
being
get
kidding?
you.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, no, the Peter Allen Motor Inn. That's called that. They've
Oh,
got.
I love this.
Like you go in and it's got this like
Sally
little
Lone
shrine to
didn't
Peter
mention
Allen,
that.
but it looks like something out of a 12-year-old's bedroom with like some just like blue
that's
tack
so
posters to
cute.
the
Well, she
wall.
doesn't stay there when she goes.
I don't
there.
think she would
That
be.
is so funny.
I think it's $110 a night.
bless.
It's kind of place where the glasses are wrapped in like the little white paper
Yes.
bag and
Oh,
that
I
kind of
love
thing, and they're
that.
stashed on the
Little
dunny seat.
toaster.
Yeah.
But
Roadhouse.
Yeah.
the key rings say it's Peter Allen, but they spell it ALLAN. And I'm like, you've had these for
Still love
years
it.
now.
They
Have you
can't
never
quite
thought to
get
You
it
fix
know
them?
what? It's so quirky, don't change it almost.
I guess
you
so.
know what
I
love
mean?
that.
I
Okay,
guess so.
okay.
Anyway, that's not what I'm
What's
talking
the-
about.
No, I love it. I love it. It's my fault. I
Stone
sang.
Fruit. Stone Fruit's
Yeah.
the restaurant.
Stone.
Oh.
What a
In
great name.
Tenterfield, young couple, Alistair and Carly, they moved up from Sydney 3 years ago to Tenterfield and just said, let's just do it, open a wine bar. But they,
Wow.
what I always look for in a wine list as well, like a great wine list, I don't just want to see how big your bank balance is and how deep your pockets are to stock with a whole bunch of first growth and
No, 'cause
whatever.
a lot of people can't
Like,
afford that.
No, I want to see like a point of view and I want to see some personality. I want to see, especially in regions, supporting the local wine industry. And so the great selection of New England wines and Granite
Good.
Belt wines, but also like next to like amazing champagne, like cracking French bottles as well and some other stuff from around Australia. I don't know who's
Hold on.
dropping.
Champagne, as
Yeah.
in cold champagne, it's from Australia.
Yeah, no, champagne. No,
I'm
well, there is
confused.
some sparkling fizz from New England,
Right.
but there's no, like he's got a lovely little grower champagne list from France.
From France,
Like
yeah.
Aiguillerier,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Like I don't know who's dropping $425 on a bottle of Krug or whatever
Yeah.
in Tenterfield, but people
Yeah.
must be because there's a lot of
Well, they'd
winemakers
be
come
staying
down
at the
there.
motel with the key
Exactly.
ring.
You save
Peter
your money,
Allen.
stay at the Peter
Exactly.
Allen,
And
spend
no,
it
I
on
got
the
champers.
Now tell us, what about
love it.
WA?
WA. Oh gosh.
Another one in
I
New
know.
South Wales.
We'll come back to it.
I
All right.
WA Madalena's in Fremantle. Yeah. Lovely place just to sit up there on the balcony when the sunset's going down. I love Freo. It reminds me of Newcastle a little bit. And the seafood focused, like getting all that beautiful WA.
Tourism Australia, Actually, talk about Tourism Australia from the lunch that we were at. We were actually on the Tourism Australia on the Instagram one. So influencers, eat your heart out.
That was a good pun. Sorry about the pun.
But speaking of Tourism Australia, what I want to I wish they'd, it's hard. A Destination New South Wales as well. I'm going to get on a soapbox here.
Yeah. But Sally Lone on.
But I think what they need to do a little bit more is just like identify some of the places which make New South Wales and make Australia truly unique. And it's those like kitschy kind of like roadside diners and the Chinese Australian restaurants and the great bakeries with the vanilla slice and all that kind of thing. Yep. Like, I don't mind a cruise. I'm nothing against the cruising industry, but when the cruising industry went off like a few years ago, it kind of stopped. I think families getting in the car and packing the kids up to go to Dubbo for the weekend, to go to Western Plains Zoo or go to Coffs or wherever, because why do that? And the stress of putting 5 kids in a Chimera when you can just go to Vanuatu for 5 nights for more or less the same price.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I get that.
That is interesting.
And I think that kind of like that connection of New South Wales is kind of lacking a little bit. But do like some great like vanilla slice road trips or like a Chinese restaurant road trip, that kind of thing.
Have you been to the Vanilla Slice cake shop
Highly
in
recommend
Sorrento?
it for Victorians.
All they do is vanilla slices. I said to Nicola, I've got it, and I had custard come out.
We had it all over our face.
And the powder, the icing sugar was on my forehead.
I died and went to heaven with that one,
Can you give me a couple more restaurants at regional New South Wales?
Yeah. Orange in Hey Rosie in Orange. Again, like they celebrate the region, like orange wines so well, and they know their stuff inside out. The service there is amazing. It's only a 20-seat bar. It's pretty much just
So what's it called?
Hey Rosie.
Hey Rosie.
Hey Rosie.
Yeah. Hey Rosie. I've got a girlfriend with a farm up there. I'll go.
And it's a 20-seat bar. They will look after you so well. Everything, all the furniture is pretty much secondhand bric-a-brac. It just shows that you can open an awesome place and you don't have to spend a mozza.
Love it.
And just young guys doing it, and like it's great food. It's always like everything. Pretty much everything on the whole menu, besides I think some trout roe from Victoria, is just farmers and growers dropping it off out the back each day. They write the menu about what's coming in.
And the wines from Orange?
And the wines are it's similar to stone fruit, like all local, or it's like some of all the great French stuff. Because if you're a winemaker, you probably don't want to drink your mates' wines because you've already drunk them all. You've been across it. Like you want to see like all the good shit coming out of Europe. So like all the winemakers come in there. They don't want to drink orange wine. They want to drink stuff from France and Italy.
What about some more affordable ones too? So you've got some listeners here who go, well, that's great, but I can't afford to do that.
Okay, the most affordable. The most affordable. I wrote about this recently. This is the kind of thing which excites me the most. The best burger I've ever had in Australia is at the post office at Wingello on the edge of the Southern Highlands, about half an hour past Bowral.
Wow, okay, go for a car trip.
It is literally a post office, and the couple and their, I want to say, 8 children. Took it over a few years ago.
Wow.
Helping hands.
Started to put a fish and chip shop.
They all look alike when they're serving.
I'm not sure what the religion is,
but that's good to know.
Comment.
Okay, I love that.
Their hearts in the right place. Anyway, but like the burger, like the classic Aussie burger, again, like you will not get beetroot on a burger and pineapple and egg anywhere else in the world.
Wow.
It's such an Australian thing.
That's a trip. That is so Aussie.
I love it.
And it's all local produce again. Like we use the bakery in Goulburn and then the beef's from this bloke down the road and blah, blah, blah. The pineapple's obviously tinned from Golden Circle, but that's okay.
But that's
so is the
cool.
beetroot. It needs
Australian.
to be. You don't want fresh beetroot on a burger. It needs to be that supermarket tin
it's got to come out of a tin or forget it, I say. It's sweet.
I love that.
And what about Victoria? Give me something funky in Victoria.
And
Oh god, okay.
Oh, Tassie.
Tassie's easier because I've been to Tassie more than I've been to regional Victoria recently. Tassie, I mean, if you want to spend money, then the Agrarian Kitchen, which is about 45 minutes out of Hobart, is great. Rodney Dunn's the chef there.
I've heard of that.
He makes his own cheese. He does everything. It used to be an old mental hospital. And it's been converted into this beautiful, beautiful space, high ceiling. It's still got those like kind of like forest green hospital floors, and he just, again, works with, he actually doesn't work too much with local farmers because he's got an amazing veggie garden of his own in the old courtyard of the hospital.
I love that with Chiswick, with Matt Moran. I love it. I love that whole concept.
It's like Chiswick, but like about for 100 times bigger, the garden. Wow. It's incredible. I'm pretty much sure now he's just growing it all for the restaurant. And so you start your meal in the garden with a little snack and a glass, and then you come inside. It's a great way of holidaying, the rest of it, and then go for a walk through the garden if you ask nicely. And it's awesome. Look, you can if you don't want a designated drive, it's an expensive Uber from Hobart, but it can be done. I have done it many times.
There's one in Mollymook that's similar to that too. There's a restaurant with a farm.
There's
it Mollymook somewhere out there near Bannisters, near what's it called? It's a Cupid's. I think it's Cupid's estate.
They've got the winery there.
That's it.
We dropped them from the guide a couple of years ago. And if they ever want to get in touch, I can give them those 3 pages.
There you go.
That's good.
I love the idea of being on the farm.
But it is like, I love that view. I love the view of Cupid's winery. It's great. There's the Mollymook's
quite cool.
Got some cool stuff.
Cool.
Milton's a cool place.
Beautiful.
Milton pub there, Milton Hotel.
New South Wales.
Cracking menu. Wow. It's the old Bannisters chef.
Guys, get in the car. Go for a weekend away.
I go support our own country, which is good, and go out regional New South Wales or all around Australia.
And that's what we're doing with the Good Food Guide this year, which I should mention. The New South Wales Good Food Guide comes out October 13th.
Okay.
We'll have a little print edition, as we always do, but this year more than ever, we're really, really promoting the Good Food app, because I get this all the time when I'm in Barrel, and I just want to know where's the best coffee. And you've got to go on Google reviews.
We'll put that on our show notes.
This is really smart.
I think that's a really good thing. Exactly. The best coffee is a really good thing.
Best coffee, but if you're in Mollymook, where's the best fish and chips? There's 4 fish and chip shops here.
You love fish and chips,
I love fish and chips.
Don't you love it? He loves that.
You don't have to spend a fortune, do you? You can go and get fish and chips.
We'll tell you where all the Hatter restaurants are, which we have done since '84. But more and more, especially with cost of living, people go for a weekend away. They don't want to eat at a Hatter restaurant, breakfast, lunch and dinner. So where's the best coffee? Where's the 2 or 3 cellar doors I should go to? Where's the best deli in town for my short stay rental supplies or whatever? And just make sure we have all that in Mudgee, Barrel, Orange, whatever.
That's
that kind of
when's
extra
the app coming
October 13th. Yeah, you can download the app right now.
Well,
with Good
Food.
We'll do that.
October 13th.
October 13th.
Yeah. Cool.
And then Victoria will be 2 weeks after that, which will be all the Victorian content. It's already there, but we're just we're adding to it. Like crazy over the next month to make sure on that big launch date it's all looking as good as it can be.
Question. Just a quickie, because we're always running over, Nicola and I. Could you name a meal or something along? I don't know. It can be meat, poultry, vegetarian, whatever. Something that's really hip and cool at the moment. That's not super expensive, not in the lobster caviar region, but something that's hip and cool that something like someone listening right now, I'm going to cook that up, or something you've tasted in a restaurant recently, you'd say, wow, that's very much now. That's a cool thing.
A new innovative. What's on trend?
Yes.
It's a really hard question because you taste 50,000 meals a year.
You know what I've seen recently on menus is posset. Like junket you used to get, kind of in the glass.
I used to live on it.
Posset is kind of like that, but a lot nicer and not made from a packet. It's like a kind of like liquidy, desserty, soupy thing, like lemon posset or something. Anyway, it's become. I've seen it on about 4 or 5 high-end restaurants doing a posset. Anyway, that's not an ingredient you can buy at home, but you can look up the recipe and be ahead of the trend.
Okay, well that's good. Anything else?
The biggest trend though, I would say, of the last year, and I'd like to think I had something to do with this, but it probably didn't, is cooking chips in beef tallow, in beef fat.
Slap it on your face because it's good for your
right,
for your
exactly,
and put it in your chips
because that's what they do in the north of England. which is where the best fish and chips are. The Magpie Cafe in Whitby, North England, has the best chips.
Well, that's why we're asking for a global
Yeah,
one.
you
You've
got
nailed it.
one.
There you go.
Okay.
Fish and chip shop.
There you go. Yep. Callan Boys.
But frying it, Marco Pierre White. I stayed at Marco Pierre
yes.
White's house a few years ago, and we could talk about that another day.
Oh, that sounds dangerous.
It was a little bit messy. Great time. And he's like, boy, you know where the north of England starts when they start frying fish and beef tallow, boy. And so and it tastes so good. And some fish and chip shops used to do it 15, 20 years ago. A lot did them back in the 70s. And McDonald's even did it until like the 90s in America. But then like it was seen as unhealthy to fry chips in beef fat. And also you got vegetarians to worry about as well who can't eat the McDonald's chips. And so eventually I think also vegetable oils became cheaper and stuff as well. But that taste, if you taste like a really good beef fat fried chip, it takes you back to your childhood in such a wonderful way, I think. And regional country shows and old school like fish and chips by the beach, and with your feet still burning from the gravel and the sand, and then you roof of the mouth burning from the chips. Like it's a good time. So I've been campaigning every now and again, if I can. For the last 12 years, I've been putting that in stories. Like, can we please get a return to beef tallow chips?
Wow.
I don't know how it happened.
I wonder who's doing
I reckon
trend.
maybe the guys from the Pellegrino 2000 Clam Bar restaurants, they had Bistro 916 in Potts Point. I saw were doing like beef fat potatoes for a bit, and Dan Pepperell's a great chef. He definitely wouldn't have read my writing and thought I'll do that. He's got his own singular man.
I think
he would have no, he wouldn't do that. but I think maybe other people saw that. It's like okay, and now all of a sudden like they're everywhere. So I'm all for it.
I've got it in
you
my
can buy
drawer,
tallow.
my
I'm going to get
for
some
my skin.
Easy to buy tallow now.
Yeah.
Some of the supermarkets I think even sell
that
it.
is on trend.
So duck fat chips were a thing a little while ago.
Yeah,
so
now
this
it's
is like
tallow.
that, but heaps more delicious, I think.
Oh,
Is it?
yum.
Okay,
I can't. You know what? I'm sorry.
We
I
can
get a
talk
glass of
food
wine
all
and a
the
chip.
time.
So
Got a martini and a chip.
Okay, last question. Do you love MasterChef? Oh,
I
was waiting for it. Yeah.
Actually, Julie Goodwin's coming on in a few weeks too.
don't watch anymore just because I don't
And Maggie Beer.
like. I appreciate what MasterChef has done to give so many chefs a platform.
Absolutely,
That's it.
100%.
In Australia, I really do.
Yes.
I don't like the carry-on of the ad breaks and stuff, so I just don't deal with it. But when it first premiered, oh my gosh, the fact you had an entire nation glued to Julie Goodwin and Poe, 3.6 million viewers or whatever it was, like to see them name the ingredients in a beef bourguignon. Sorry.
Yeah.
I swallowed my tongue there when I say that.
Remember that?
In a
Those
French
pies?
beef stew was incredible. Like everyone tuned in to watch that. I think like the two seismic shifts, three if you want, in the way Australians cook. The average Australian. Peter Russell Clark in the 70s.
Yes.
Then Jamie Oliver came along, and then all of a sudden we knew what sea salt was and prosciutto and all this kind of thing, like normal people, not like chefs. Yeah. And then I think MasterChef was the next one to really capture that middle Australia.
I love it.
And change what's stocked in the supermarkets as well, like, which is the important thing.
True.
So I always think about that, like,
Well, thank you so much. We've got a few of our signature questions, and for our listeners, let us know what restaurants that you like, and we'll have a list of some of the ones that you
that's
think
actually
you'd
a great
really
idea.
like to know. Which
we'll
would be
put
really
that
good.
to Callan actually. Get some feedback.
Exactly. So, Dine, do you want us to with a question?
Absolutely.
We've got our
I've forgotten about those. I've got
questions.
so carried away with you today because I do love food. I honestly
love
do.
it.
And
Wine.
wine.
And what's in trend? We've learnt so much
And
already.
we talk when we go. We do not pick our phones up when we go. Remember
that,
guys?
Sometimes.
Yeah, we do.
And then that's it.
But honestly, guys, if you're listening, if you're going to lunch or it's as Callan just said, an anniversary, a birthday, whatever it is, put the phone in the handbag, sit and eyeball the people you're with, really. Okay. If you had the opportunity of meeting anybody over the back fence.
Yeah.
Live, dead, or otherwise. Spirit could just wander on down. Who would that be and why?
Oh, gosh. Well, I'd like to Neil Young. We're huge Neil Young fans,
Oh.
so I reckon he'd be a good
Harvest
person
Moon.
to hang over the back
Love
fence. If you could
that.
hear him like
Yeah.
playing some acoustic songs on the back veranda every now and
Oh,
again.
we're swinging our
love
legs
that.
over the
Yeah.
brunch.
That would be
we'll-
bloody great.
we'll come along to that
I
one.
think more realistically, though, which is not even realistic, would be Stephanie Alexander in Australia
Oh,
because she's such a
great.
great,
You don't hear as
great
much.
cook. I love
My
Steph.
mother's
Steph, yes.
like
Yes.
dream woman.
Yeah, same my
like,
mum too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kitchen Confidential,
Generation.
one of the greatest cookbooks ever published
Wow.
in
That's
the
good to
world,
know as
not
well.
just
In the
Australia.
world.
Yeah, it's so comprehensive in terms of like I've been gifted a rabbit. And so what do I do with it? And here's a bunch of ideas, you know.
Incredible.
But she's a great vegetable grower as well. So, you know,
Love
she'd always
that.
be, you know,
What do you call it?
fling you some broad beans.
Yeah.
Paddock to plate.
Yeah,
Love
paddock
that.
to plate.
Love it.
And
Cooking with the soil in your
Callan,
nails.
what makes you happy?
Oh, gosh. A clean
Food?
house. Yeah. Well, yes,
Oh
it
my
does. It
God.
does. Cheese makes you
Cheese.
very happy.
Cheese.
So if I clean the house on a Saturday, Saturday's good because you've got Sunday. You know, you don't have to stress about work the next day.
Yeah.
I'll clean house and then go make a Negroni.
Love
And then
it.
sit down,
So good and
sit down with a
relax.
book. The house needs to be
And a
like
book.
Yeah,
clean,
I
so I'm
get
not like
that.
stressed. Like, all right, now I've earned my reward.
Yeah. But
sit-
what time of the day will you be having
This is
Negroni?
around 2 or 3 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Early
Yeah,
as me.
yes,
I'm
yes,
a 5 o'clock
yeah,
girl.
and then
Yeah.
and then well, it's a Saturday,
the
nothing to
weekend.
do,
I'm
it's the
loving
weekend.
it. I'm loving it.
And then sit down with the book, and then
Lovely.
I just have some cheese there, and just let it come to ripeness as the afternoon goes on, and just hit some Comté and a cocktail.
Settle in.
That's living as long as the house is clean.
Yeah, guys,
Oh,
how
I
simple
love
was that?
that, isn't
Look
it?
at the life this man leads, and the simplicity in that response was gold. May more light shine on you for appreciating the simple things in life. Truly, sitting down with a book.
Yeah.
Okay, house clean, we get that. But a Negroni.
It's
Happy.
Exactly.
That's
Beautiful.
we go to work each week so we
Yeah.
can sit on the couch and relax. I think at the
Yeah,
end of the day
Sometimes
with
it
people
is.
we like, maybe watch some TV with my wife,
And it's sometimes it is
that's
those
all
simple
it is.
Easy,
things.
simple.
Well, everyone,
So-
thank you for listening, and Callan,
Yes.
thank you for joining us. It's
my
been
God, this has
fantastic.
been
and
What a
wonderful.
pleasure to meet you, honestly, up in Hamilton.
And the Good
It was
Food Guide
great.
is coming out October 13th.
Yes.
Yes.
So, we'll be
Yeah.
all over it as well.
And the app.
And the app.
And the
Yeah,
app,
can't wait
which
for
is
the
great.
app.
And everyone, thank you for listening. And also, we are on YouTube, so please subscribe. And
It's
for
free. So many
isn't
people
it?
are asking how much is
Yes,
it.
yeah,
No, it's free
It's
to
free,
subscribe.
so you can watch this.
I mean, they always say,
and
how much
don't
is it?
miss any others. So
Like, yeah.
we'll be back in your ears next week.
Will
Yeah.
I give a little hat for
Okay,
Callan?
so we have a
The-
rating.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, out of 5.
Oh, gosh.
But Dine has her own rating here, so I reckon I agree, Dine. Instead of stars,
me laugh every
hats.
time.
How many hats would you say for?
I
for
reckon he gets 3 hats.
Callan? Three hats.
He gets 3 hats because that's the top, isn't it?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you
perfect.
go.
got your 3 hats.
3 hats.
18 out of 20.
There you go.
And then
oh,
3
20
hats.
out of 20.
We love that.
We
And
never
then
give her
stars,
20
you get
out of 20.
100.
All right,
Yeah.
he's 80 out of 20.
I'm very happy with 18.
Thanks, Callan. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for
Thank
coming
you
in
for joining
today.
us.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Thanks,
Ciao,
legends.
ciao. Wow.